Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Swahili Nation, Swahili to the world, and this is your favorite host, MC and GP.
Yeah,
what up, GP?
Podcast, yes.
I see you have summer vibe.
Yeah, it's summer, we gotta look good.
Why do you look like that? Is it because you receive a lot of compliments about your little muscles?
No, because I worked hard for these muscles for this summer, so
let me enjoy. You cannot even do 5 push-ups. I want you to you work hard for that.
Yeah. What's going on? What's new, man?
Man, it's good to be back, and it's good to see there's so much love because of the podcast we are doing, and so much feedbacks and opinions and attacks at the same time, which is good.
Your attacks.
yeah, I love attacks. I actually love attacks because I feel like when people they begin to open up about their opinions about the topic that you guys have been discussing, I think it shows me that so people have been paying attention of what we are saying, and
they've been listening.
And sometimes we can agree with one another, sometimes we can disagree.
That's right. And
if we disagree with one another, then we just agree to disagree, and we're moving on as long as we have we have we have that conviction inside of our heart that this is what I believe and this is what we're gonna move on. Because what we are trying to do with East and West podcast is to share of our opinions based on our experience, based on what we know. Yes, and also we are allowing
what we saw.
Exactly, and what we saw, and also we're allowing the audience to share their opinion in a proper way. Because for me today, I mean, if I start cussing people around, it's not gonna be proper. So I'm addressing my point, and I'm addressing what I believe in, what is true, in a proper way, in the way that I know that people they will listen, and of course some people they will get hurt, some people will get what I'm trying to say, but that's all about opinions.
Well, you sound hot. What's going on?
No, I'm not hurt.
What's going on?
I'm not hurt. As I said, I'm really happy for doing this podcast today, because the reason why we're doing this podcast today, guys, is just want to respond to the critics that we've just received these couple days based on the our previous podcast that we did about Burna Boy. Yeah, so that's why we're here today. I'm gonna read the critic that I will talk about, and I think GP as well will talk about one critic that he received from the Instagram and talk about it, and I think we'll get to the point where we all want to be.
All right.
How are you doing? You want to start? You want to go ahead with yours?
With mine?
Because yes.
So I posted a video of us actually talking about Diamond's essence, not Diamond's, Burna Boy's essence performance. That we didn't like it, right?
Yeah.
Because we know the level he's at, and we know what he can do, so we expected more.
Yeah.
Like for example, we made reference to Diamond Platinum's performance, and we are like, that guy killed it.
Yeah.
Because that guy is a performer. He knows how to perform, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, so we were making reference to that. We were not saying that Burna Boy is not good.
Yes.
We're just saying that it would be nice if he actually takes it serious.
And we were clear about that we don't hate this guy, but we think there's so much more he can do with his level and his name and where he is at right now.
And I'm actually Burna Boy's fan, because if you watch our podcast since we started, we started with audio, right?
Exactly.
I've been defending Burna Boy. I remember when we compared Burna Boy and Diamond Platinum.
Exactly.
I defended Burna Boy, so I'm actually a Burna Boy's fan. But it's just like the way he performs, I expected more, because I know him. Like actually, when you go to his live concerts, he performs with energy. Like you feel his electricity.
Yes.
But I'm expecting more. Like we are on lockdown. Everybody expects entertainment, so that's what I was talking about.
Exactly.
So anyway, I posted the video on my Instagram.
Yeah.
And then actually Burna Boy's pianist.
Man, I was surprised. How did these guys know about this?
I have no idea. So, so Burna Boy's pianist.
What is his name?
He said, you guys clearly don't have a clue about music. Speak on what you know.
Yes.
Exactly. When I saw this, I was like, wow. First of all, I was happy.
I don't know. You were hard. Let me be honest. GP was hard. hard. GP came to me, was like, man, this guy, he attacked us.
No,
and I was like, that's good, actually.
The reason why I was hard is because I'm actually a Burna Boy's fan.
Yes.
I'm just talking about the performances I've seen him made on Essence and also on MTV.
Yes.
So I was just talking about that alone. But I love his music. I mean, I've defended him here. Even yes, that day we actually attacked him. On the same video, I said he's gonna win the BET,
exactly.
which he did. I'm really happy. I'm grateful. Yeah. So. Again, he says, you guys clearly don't have a clue about music. Speak on what you know. Mind you, we are worship leaders in our church. We control music. We do musical arrangements. We write songs. We do everything. But anyway, he don't know this. So
we arrange chords. We do, and it's been for many years now, 8 years.
Yeah, we play guitar, play drums,
pianos, and sing.
Even bass guitar.
And not only that, our resume is we sang in front of the First Lady of South Korea, and 10 different First Ladies. We were invited, two of us.
The invitation came to us. We didn't apply for anything.
Remember, this was 2019, and the conference, it was Asian Summit. So it was not about Africa. It was Asian Summit. So many Asian countries, like more than 10, they were having here. They came all the way here, and all these First Ladies. And we were invited, two of us, to represent Africa, to sing in front of the First Lady of South Korea and 10 different more First Ladies. And I will share this link in the description. You guys, you can watch it. And I remember in the speech, there's one thing I said, I wish in the future we'll have something like African Summit in Korea. Like
African-Asian Summit.
Yeah, Africa-Asian Summit in Korea. I suggested that in front of these ministers instead of First Lady, and we performed, and the performance was, and we made a lot of money that day. Yeah, and we live in the best hotel. We were taken to Busan, one of the beautiful cities. But why it happened? Because for the past 8 years, we have been creating our resume. We've been performing in different government meetings, officials. We've been invited and do it. At the end of the day, they saw our videos and they want us to go to represent. So here in Korea right now, when you're talking about African performers, always government is looking after us. Yeah. First, because we came here to Korea through Korean government. They're the one who gave us scholarship to come here. Yeah. So they know our presence here in Korea. They know our talent, and they acknowledge that, and they use us in these different events to perform. So him saying that we clearly don't know about music, then he clearly don't know us.
Of course.
Yes. Because we gotta base on the facts. Because we give our general opinion about the performance because we are doing performances, the same thing. And if we can do better than what he can do, then there's a problem, because we are just upcoming artists. But also I can say people, they don't know us yet, which is fine, but what we do is good. The music we're doing is good, and the way we perform is good. And if you want to check it, you can check it out, on our other channels, and you will see that.
Yeah. Anyway, that's all I have to say about that, because I was like, I wish he actually knows on what basis that we raised our argument on.
Yes. Not from the hate.
Yeah, right? I mean, if we don't know about music, why should we even attack him? Man, I mean, first of all, we are Christians. We don't just attack people, and second of all, we don't attack people like attack. No, I know what hating is. I've experienced people hating on me. Yeah. He's experienced that, and we cannot just do that. We just pinpointed on what should have been done better, what we think as performers, right? Yeah. And we just wanted him to do better. I mean, I'm his fan, for goodness sake. Yeah.
He's representing Africa well.
He is.
We have all reason to be like, hey, this guy, he's doing really good. But we think you can do better. What you're doing, and this is that. As a fan, we think you can do better, and this is what you're supposed to do.
That's right.
Anyways, all in all, we appreciate critics and all this. For me, I was happy. And I remember I told GP, I said, GP, man, this is good. Actually think about it and then reply to this guy. Sent to him some links that we did music. If you don't have anything, just ignore, because he clearly don't know about us. But all in all, anyways. So I'm going to read another comment that I received from YouTube. And also I saw this comment yesterday. It's a very long comment, so I'll try to read a paragraph and then talk about it. And it comes from this one guy. His name is Rich Perv. That's his YouTube name. And I really appreciate as I said before, that I appreciate when we have different opinions. And the reason of us doing this is not to attack you back. No, it's to make things straight. Because for me, I wanted to reply this comment, but then I realized that, I'm not going to be able to write everything that I'm thinking right now. So the better thing to do is for me to pay attention to what he said and to do another podcast about what he said. So I actually value what you say, regardless of very strong language you use, but I still value what you say because I still see you have a point on what you say, and that's what I want to address, to what you said. So this guy started by saying that I'm a big fan of Burna Boy, and I think he deserved that award. BU, I don't know what that does mean. All means because let's talk facts, Burna. Burna released an album in SB, and then Shoma Jones released singles. You cannot tell me that you want people to recognize one track against 19 tracks that Burna Boy is released. So you can't say that just because you don't like Burna, you don't want him to win, just because you were ridiculing something like that, his music. I would say he's more deserving than Diamond Platnumz himself, because Burna Boy is a better performer, songwriter, and a visionary. Because his main purpose of the African giant, it was to elevate Africa through his music. So you cannot tell me that the Uprising of John Cena by Shoma Jones or the Yope of Inosby is better the sound of revolution. So I'll just stop right there and talk a little bit about this. So I read this, and what thoughts? You want to say something?
I kind of understand his point of view.
Exactly.
The first time I read it, I was like, this guy is kind of right. Yeah. Because also, he spoke about what I spoke like on that video. I said it. I said Burna Boy's music is being influenced by Fela Kuti, right?
Exactly.
So he writes revolutionary music, like against the government and stuff. Like I said everything, and I was like, yes, he deserves that BET. I said the same thing. So actually, when I read this, I was like, wow, he's kind of right. Yeah, I said you're right, Rich. Really.
Exactly. So for me, after I read this, I see that you have a point in everything that you say, but I don't agree with everything you said in this paragraph. And this is the reason why. I don't hate Burna Boy. Let me just say that clearly outside, that I don't hate Burna Boy, because I cannot call myself Christian and at the same time hate on people. I don't hate him, but I want to be clear. I hate, this is something that we share in common, his pride. That it shows in different kind of form in some areas. And we talked a lot about this, and this is not just Burna Boy. I hate any person. I hate any pride in any person. So it doesn't matter whether it's Burna Boy, it doesn't matter whether it's Diamond, it doesn't matter whether it's GP, it doesn't matter whether it's me, but I hate pride. That's what I hate. But I don't hate Burna Boy. I don't hate his music. And if you listen to that song all the way to the end, you realize that I asked that question, that does Burna Boy deserve to win BET? And he answered. I don't know if you listen until the end, but that was my answer too. Because GP, he asked me back that, do you think he deserved? And I said, yes, he deserved. And my point was like, he deserved to win BET this year because of his music, because of what he has done. It's clearly in Africa, Burna Boy, he did really so good job in 2019. And nobody can argue with that. You can see that in the video that we talked about BET, but also you can see in the video that we talked about it before when we were arguing with GP. It was clear. I share that in clear. And the point of Shoma Jones and Inosby, my point, it was not that, I never say that Shoma Jones was supposed to win or Inosby was supposed to win. But the point that I raised about, it was suggestion to BET as a collective organization, that no, you guys should consider more to put musicians from the East as well. I didn't say that in that list, Shoma Jones was supposed to win or Inosby was supposed to win, because the only way that you win BET is by people voting. People, they vote and then you win, and we talked about that in BET. Personally, I believe that Burna Boy deserved to win, because this guy who was nominated in Grammy Awards because of his album and what he has done in 2019. So he really deserved. He will deserve. But my point was that I think, I didn't like the idea that there's no any musician from the East. And when I'm talking about East, I'm not just talking about Tanzania. I'm talking about East Africa, all nation in East Africa, all these popular musicians that we know from the East. And I gave example of, Sauti Sol, Diamond Platnumz, Harmonize, and other musicians that we know from the calligraphy. I mentioned about calligraphy and everybody there. I said, I think they need more recognition when it comes to these nominations, because if they're not nominated, then there's no way to find out that who did well, who is the best. You have to collect everybody from every single part of the continent. So South Africa, we had Shoma Jones. Central Africa, we have Inosby. West, we had Burna Boy. But what about the East? We didn't have anybody. Is it because nobody from the East is doing well? Nobody from the East is doing well? That's not the point. It's not true. We have a lot of musicians from the East who are doing well. And at least the best thing BET they can do is to recognize them. That was my point. But not that other people, they deserve to win rather than Burna Boy. That was not my point. Because at the end of the day, I'm happy. And even in this, I say that I'm happy that this award, it came back to Africa. I'm happy that it came back to motherland. If there was somebody from the East in that list, of course, as an East person, I will root for him, that I want this guy to win. But if he don't win, I still root for African person from the continent of Africa to win. And it doesn't matter who is that person. That's my wish. In this one.
Say something though.
Yes.
You should know at the same time that BET, we checked, it means Black Excellence Television, something, right? Yesterday we checked.
It's Black Entertainment Television.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you should know it's an internationally recognized award.
Yes.
So the fact that some people are doing well locally does not guarantee that they should be nominated internationally. Locally.
Okay.
Locally means in Africa alone.
Oh, of course.
So these people, according to that award, you need to be recognized internationally. That's why everybody in that list was international.
Exactly.
We all know that Shoma Jose's song went international. Exactly. And then the Inosby Yope, it went international, we all know. And then Burna Boy's album went international.
Yes.
And then Stormzy and the other guy. Actually, there's another UK guy. He's also Nigerian. Like there were two English guys were nominated.
Exactly.
One was also Nigerian.
Yeah. I know about that. Yes.
So it's like, if your music is recognized internationally, then you are qualified.
Yes.
For me, I think calligraphy, he's doing great. He's doing amazing. But it's like, it's in Africa. I think. I don't know if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's in Africa. So people like that. So I think you need to be recognized internationally to actually get nomination for BET or even Grammy.
But one thing that I want to add to that, internationally, even if you are Nigerian and your music are being played in another country in Africa, it's considered as international. International means outside of your country. Nationally means inside your country.
I know.
So for this internationally, that means they're looking at Africa.
Well, let's say intercontinentally.
I don't know if that's what they're looking after, because
it should be.
Oh yeah, of course. Of course it should be that way, but the point that I'm trying to make of all these musicians that I mentioned are people who are doing well international already. They are doing well internationally.
That's in Africa.
Exactly. Not only in Africa, but outside of Africa. Because when I talk about Diamond, he's not just doing well in Africa. He's doing well outside of Africa as well. If you saw last year, he had this, tours, in Europe. He went to Europe, he went to France, he went to Germany, and Germany is Europe, and he went in all these other continents. And he was supposed also to go to the US for another concert, but he didn't go there because he actually went to the US. But he was having another international tour for his album, but he didn't finish because of COVID-19. So everything that I'm talking about, these a few artists, for example, Sauti Sol and other guys, these are people that are recognized internationally, and they already even received a couple of the awards that related to that category. So that's basically what I'm pointing out to. That if you go to East Africa, you'll always find somebody who represents that region, internationally. You always find one person, and that's, that was my concern. But one thing that I said that I'm not agreeing, I don't agree that I would say that this guy said that Burna Boy is the best performer, songwriter, and visionary. I wouldn't agree that Burna Boy is the best performer than Diamond Platnumz. But that's not what I wanna go to that argument, because when it comes to agreement that who is the best performer, then I think, as this guy say, that he's a big fan of Burna. So if I'm a big fan of Burna, no matter what he does, for me, I'm a fan. No matter what he does, it look good. Even the performance that he did in BET and MTV Base, it will be the best because I'm a fan. I love this guy. The same thing for me. If I'm rooting for this guy from Tanzania, no matter what he does, I'll still root for him. But that's why I'm trying to be careful with this. That I'm looking at all this evidence of performance between these two people that I see, I watch, and I'm talking about this. That's why for me, I cannot agree to that. That when it comes to performance, no. When it comes to visionary, I would say that everybody has different perspective. Burna Boy, his vision in his album, it was to lift Africa, and that's why he called it Africa Giant. And when I talk about maybe Diamond, his album that he released like 2 years ago, it was a boy from Tandale, and the main vision for that album, it was for him to introduce that, there's this one guy, boy, he's coming from this rural area in Tanzania, from Tandale. That's the guy you are listening to him right now. That was his vision, that was his plan, and he released this album. And right now, I don't know the next album, what is going to come, but so when it comes to vision, it depends on the target, that this person, which target is targeting and what he's trying to do. And when it comes to the songs, how Burna Boy writes or how other musicians write, also it depends on that vision. That right now I want to write song about freedom, about Black Lives Matter. I'll write that song. I want to write a song about the girl I love or the girls that they hurt my heart. I'm going to write about that. So you cannot really measure that, this guy is a good writer than this guy is a good writer, because you don't know the vision. You don't know which point they're coming from. You don't know what they are target and what they are trying to achieve in whatever song that they release. But me as a fan, as a person that I love African music, I'll just sit back and enjoy the music, whatever that music, whether it's message. Well, you didn't talk about message, man. We have done reaction for Sauti Sol songs. You see the message that they release. You see the message, Brighter Days. You see another song, Insecure, that we just did recently. So there's so many great musicians out there that they write visionary song with great message. So in that way, for me, I cannot compare. Like I cannot compare Burna Boy with this guy or this guy. It would be ridiculous to compare actually people in that case. Yeah, so that's why I said that in this point, for me, I don't agree. You have that point, you made that point, and also I have my point about this. And in the same point, I want to add one more thing that this guy, he also mentioned about, he said, I've seen your YouTube and you look like you're a fan of Diamond. You only do a lot of things about Diamond. For this as well, I would love to address very shortly, do you want some water? I'd love to address that. Rich, the vision of my channel is Swahili to the world, and to connect the world through Swahili. And so what I do, I'm not focusing on the entire African continent, but I'm focusing on the Swahili culture place. And so anyone who is taking Swahili to the world from any country, whether it's Tanzania, Kenya, Uganda, Burundi, Rwanda, Congo, I will do the reaction for that, because that's why I don't even do for all musicians from Tanzania, because most of them, they just represent in Tanzania. So, but all those musicians who are representing Swahili to the world, to other outside of Tanzania, that's where I'm based on. So today, I cannot start doing news. I cannot start doing all reaction for like Burna Boy songs or Davido song, because that's not where the vision is. The vision is to lift up Swahili to the world. Nigeria, they have Pidgin. Pidgin is already famous everywhere. My focus is focusing on Swahili to make actually as big as other language they are in the world, for example, English and Spanish and other countries. So that's where I'm going to focus. And that's why you see that there's a lot of news I did about Diamond, because he's kind of guy that every day he does that. Every day he has something. Today we'll see in BBC. The next day we'll see there. You see him doing this something good. If Rayvan did that, I would do the same thing. If Harmonize is doing, actually I do reaction for them as well. Nandi, I'm doing that. I'll do for any Ali Kiba, I'm doing for that. That's where my focus is. So don't get twisted. But for this podcast, the idea of this podcast that we enter is East and West podcast. So literally we are connecting, because these are two countries in Africa that their music actually they're breaking out, and we are trying to bring these two sides of Africa together. That's why you see we had when we're doing news about Burna Boy and what we achieve, we talked about, Shema Jones, who is basically like, she always sings in Swahili. She's also introducing Swahili to the world. And also we try to connect these two, both sides, and talk about, different topics about that. Because we want to communicate to people like from Nigeria and people from Tanzania, and we want to connect them through this podcast. That's why we discuss about all these kind of things. Yeah, Chibi, anything to add?
I just want to say that everybody's entitled to their own opinion. So you are right, Rich, and Mika is right in his own way, and everybody is actually. And I mean, it's because different musicians, different music.
Yes.
Have the personal feelings they give to us.
Exactly.
If Burna Boy's music does that for you,
yes,
and then yes, you are his fan. Yes, whatever he does it for you. That is right. That is right. The same thing for Mika. The same thing for me. And I kind of also understand the perspective at which Rich was driving on. Like I'm saying, because he has never seen you attack Diamond.
But you know the truth. Because I cannot just start attacking him if there's nothing to attack him.
No, you always attack Burna Boy, attack Nigerians.
Not always.
But no. Actually, do you realize that you've never said good thing about Burna Boy?
Burna Boy?
Like, yeah.
No, I talked all the time.
Like
the Binti news that we talked, I say he deserved that award. The other day that we were attacking each other, I told you that there's no way to compare. I mean, Burna Boy in 2019, I told him that he did the best more than any other African music, African artist. I talked about that. And the other day we did reaction of that song that Diamond was featured. Even you were surprised. You say, Mika, you never gave like less points to any song that Diamond is, and I gave 6 points to the song that it was, and I gave my points. If you remember that day when we were doing reaction,
because he was featured, that's not his song.
No,
that was a Nigerian guy.
No, but no, it was not because of just that. if I'm a fan, anything that Diamond he does for me will be just, oh, this is the best, this is good. but that we have so many conversation behind the scene of this, that we agree with one another and we attack these people that. And not really for the sake of attack. We should change that word. Not really for the sake of attack, but we speak the truth that no, in this matter I think is not true. In this matter I think is not good. So even if Diamond today he does something that it doesn't look good, I mean, he did like performance that it doesn't like represent his image, I'll always talk about it. But he has always seemed to be somebody who is taking serious about things that he's doing, and he's aiming for something big because he's hungry for success, and he's keep doing that. He's keep like that, like there's, I don't even, when I'm waiting for new project from him, I just know that this will encourage me. It will be something that will encourage me. Like you are waiting with the expectation that this will be something big, will be something huge. And he never really disappoints when it comes to that. But we never talk about other issues when it comes to personal matters like relationship. We never talked about that.
But exactly, that's how Diamond makes you feel. The same way you feel for Diamond is the same way Rich might feel for Burna Boy. So his opinion is also right to him.
That's what exactly he said. I didn't, and to be honest, Rich, this comment that you posted, actually YouTube, they hide this comment. It was hidden, like it was hidden in one category, say you have to check this if it's a spam. It was hidden. And so personally, I had to allow it to appear. If I hated what you wrote and what you said about me, I would have just deleted so that nobody will see, and what you said it will be hidden forever. But I allowed it. To happen on the channel. Why? Because I actually respect your opinion, and that's why I said I'm gonna address about this in the next podcast. I respect your opinion, and I respect anybody else's opinion. Whatever opinion anyone has, or even if attacked, man, I've been attacked so many times. I've started to do this YouTube like 8 years ago. I've been attacked so many times, even personally, face to face. I've been attacked so many times. So it's something that I can handle. And as long as you have your opinion, like the way that Rich wrote his opinion from his standpoint, that's why we're making this podcast right now. Because it's necessary. What he said, and it's necessary for me to address that. I understand what you're saying, and this is what I'm saying as well. Maybe if you didn't listen to the whole, Rich, if you didn't listen to the whole podcast I suggested, please listen to all of it. You'll see what I said about Burna Boy deserving this award of BET, and you see my suggestion to BET about other musicians from the East. Why? Because this is East and West podcast. We talked about Burna Boy wins. I need to talk about East. Yes.
Yeah.
It's a heavy topic, right?
Not really. Nobody attacked me.
This guy attacked you on Instagram. Kind of nobody, man. We are together in this. You cannot say.
You are alone.
You cannot say nobody attacked
you. Are alone.
If I'm being attacked, you're being attacked.
No, but for me, attack is encouragement.
I know what he does to you, man. I know what he does to you.
But it makes me better. It makes me think wider.
Nobody can argue with that.
I really respect people's opinion. I mean, that's why I still tell people, your opinion about me, it is your own opinion. It doesn't mean that it has to matter to me.
Exactly.
I know what I think of myself. I know what my best friends think of me. But at the same time, your opinion,
it
your
might
opinion. Matter. It might not matter. So it is your opinion. So I don't have the right to change that.
No wonder why. I didn't even read the whole mess. I didn't talk about what he said, that this is childish and you're hypocritical. I didn't even address that because that's him thinking that is childish, hypocritical. But from the point of where I'm standing and why I'm talking about this, I know why I'm mentioning this and why I'm talking about this. And I know that I've been very interested in the Eastern music, but also African music at large. And we're going to keep doing this. And so please comment and give your opinion again. Share your opinion and share what you think. And we'll always come back and talk about it. As long as it's aiming, like the purpose is to build and not to destroy. If the purpose is to destroy, I'm just going to ignore it. Yes. And
at the same time, we really want to appreciate you, Rich. Thank you, because we know that you actually watched our show on Egypt Charles, my neighbor Charles, and that is how you were able to connect to our YouTube, and then you subscribed immediately. So we really appreciate you, and we just say thank you for actually listening and watching to us, and thank you for your opinion. We really want that. That makes us think more and think wider.
For the long message, because writing a long comment like that
takes a lot.
Yeah, it's not easy. Like for me, I've never written something long like that. So you're taking time to write that. That's why we had to make this like maybe 1 hour right now, a podcast just about that, because we value that.
because of you. That is huge.
You gave us new topic.
Imagine the people you watch on television doing that show. We are talking because of you, man. That's huge achievement.
You know what time is it? It's 2 a.m. right now.
You need to put it on your CV. That's huge achievement.
Anyways, I really appreciate for the love, and please guys continue to comment. And let us know, guys, what you think at your opinion. But don't forget that we don't hate anyone, but we're going to always try to speak our truth.
Love them.
Yeah, our truth. But also you can speak your truth, because we have different standpoints. So we'll speak our truth, also speak your truth. And we can just argue each other with the points and reach to the conclusion. If you don't reach to the conclusion, we can just agree to just disagree.
At the end of everything,
Black
lives cannot matter until Africa matters.
Very political.
I love that Burna Boy speech, man.
And we even talked about that.
Yeah.
And if you listen to that, we talked about that this was the best speech, and it was very short. And that line, I think people, they have to put caption in so many social medias.
They did actually.
Exactly. Yeah, we talked about that. Why? Because we're proud of Africa and we're proud of what he's doing.
One love.
All right, guys. Please don't forget to subscribe and share this video with a lot of people, so that they may get to see our opinion, and also you can share your opinion as well anytime. Yeah, Swahili Nation, Swahili to the world.
Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and everywhere.
Exactly.
That's for our music everywhere.
Love and peace out.